What's up, people? You have found the KO Report, and I'm Scott Killian. This week, we're going to take a look at two items from our friends at Autel: the TPMS tool and the MX1 sensor. Part number on this is a TS508WF. We will go over this and the standard TS508, and I'll give you the differences in those. The part number on the sensor is an MX sensor through Autel, but you can get it at your Napa store under the part number 1, the number 1 sensor. If you stick around to the end of this video, I will tell you how you can get this $250 or $450 scan tool absolutely free. Stick around. If you're a subscriber to the KO Report, thanks for checking back in. If you're not, feel free to watch this video. Get the information from it you need. If you like it, hit me with a thumbs up. And if you really like it, how about hitting that subscribe button so you can see all of the latest videos as I roll them out each week from the KO Report. This video is going to be great for you guys in the shop or as a technician. The general public, you probably won't get a whole lot out of this video. I'm going to be honest with you up front, and you may want to just skip on to find out how to get it free if you're a shade tree mechanic or something to that effect. But I wanted to go over the sensor and the TPMS scan tool individually and tell you how you can get the scan tool for free. If you're in a garage, an automotive shop, tire store, any of that, you know that cars produced after September 2007 are mandated to have a TPMS sensor in the wheels. Those are tire pressure monitoring sensors, and they work in conjunction with your onboard diagnostics and send a signal to let you know the air pressure in your tires. And you'll get a light that comes on. It looks like a horseshoe. I've heard it explained several times, which is basically it's a flat tire, folks. But you'll get that image on your dash. If it's a solid image, 90% of the time you just need some air. If it's a flashing image, then you have had a problem with your sensor. It could be that it's lost programming or simply the battery's gone bad. And yes, these do work on their own battery. If you look here, you can see the white silver piece here is a battery, similar to a watch battery. And then you have the programming chip here. But I want to tell you a little bit about the sensors, and then we'll go into the actual programming tool itself. Each manufacturer has an OE sensor that they use. OE stands for original equipment. You can replace any TPMS sensor with an OE sensor at a cost. It's going to cost you more to buy from the dealer. There are universal sensors available. The universal sensors can be programmed with different TPMS programming devices or tools. Something to keep in mind, the universal sensors come with two different frequencies, 315 megahertz and 433 megahertz. You also have TPMS sensors that will come with rubber valve stems or aluminum metal valve stems. In those cases, a lot of times you have to have another tool that is a valve fitting tool to remove and replace those to get what you have back on your car. So as a garage owner or a parts guy, you have to have several SKUs taking up precious part space in your shop to cover all the vehicles on the road. And honestly, that's hard to do. Or if you call your parts store, hopefully it's a Napa, and you tell them what you're needing, they're going to ask you a series of questions to get it narrowed down to what you need. But Autel has came up with an answer to get all of the headaches, all of the worries, all of that out of the way. And they done it with one part number, the MX1 sensor. This one sensor is a dual frequency, meaning that it will do the 315 and the 433 megahertz coverage for your vehicles, as well as covering 98% of the vehicles on the road today. So if this doesn't cover it, odds are it's not coming in your shop. Autel is the only company in the industry that makes its own TPMS sensors as well as the programmers. So you could see how a company making both of them is making something that will run parallel and merge perfectly together in programming. You shouldn't have as many issues using the Autel system as you do some of the others. Aside from the dual frequency and 98% coverage, two other things really stand out to me on the MX1 sensor. One is the quick release valve change. You don't need that extra tool that I mentioned earlier for the valve fitting. There's a silver tab that you can see here that actually says press. If you press on it, you can pull out your valve stem and change your rubber valve stem to an aluminum. Going back in, push and click, and it's in place. Press again, and you got it released. That is really neat, really time saving, and just it is patent and exclusive to Autel. Another cool feature is the fact that the size of this and the weight is only 12 grams. Now I know when you're talking grams, you're not talking a big difference, but if you're mounting or dismounting a tire, sometimes the duck head, as you're going along the bead and the wheel there to take the tires off, will damage some of the larger TPMS sensors. You can't ask your customer to pay for something that your technician screwed up. So a lot of times the garages are eating these at a cost that the end user, the consumer, is not even aware of. So here's an opportunity to save yourself some money with that, just based off the size of the TPMS sensor itself. Now let's talk about the tool itself. I actually have the TS508WF, as you can see here in the corner. There is a base model called the TS508. As you can see, when it's powered up, you have a full color screen. A great advantage of this is if you're outside, it's less glare on the screen to see that, or if you're in a dimly lit shop, it shows up in a lot better options. You have 4 directional buttons, a signal button to program yes and no, power, and question. That way if you're on something you're not sure what it is, you can hit the question and it will give you a detail of what that button does. Let's take a look at it a little bit closer. With the tool on, you have 6 options to go by here. Quick mode, advanced mode, toolkit, my device, review data, latest test. Under quick mode, yes, we want to program an infinity. Yes, I want to program a Q60. Yes. It's going to ask for the model of it, and it will tell you the frequency that those TPMS sensors have at that point. As you can see, one is a 433 megahertz, one is 315. So you can program a sensor here, and you can program up to 16 sensors at one time. So if you have a fleet of vehicles that you're needing to reprogram, you've got them all there in one time. Or you can scan a single sensor, and the sensor will be placed into here, or at least be in the vicinity of the top of the scan tool to do those. You can also program the sensor feature, relearn procedure, and then find out sensor information about the sensor you have in front of you. If we back out, advanced mode, yes, you can go in, similar situation. We're going to look at a Lincoln Continental. Now let's not do a Continental, let's do a Mark LT. I've always liked those. It gives you information there that you can check out on each one. TPMS diagnose, program sensor, position relearn, that is if you're doing a tire rotation and you've took your tire from the right front to the right rear, you can do a position relearn, so it gives you the proper information on your vehicle diagnostics screen on your dash, or you can find out information on those as well. Toolkit. You got your RKE and your RF monitor, so you can check things there. Latest test will show you the latest test that you've been running. You can review data on items that you have done, and on my device, it's basically your settings like on your smartphone. You can update by USB connected to your laptop or computer. You can update by Wi-Fi if you have the TS508 Wi-Fi, the WF. You can update by Wi-Fi with those. You can go into your settings to turn the beeping sound off and on, or you can hit about and it will tell you about the software update settings that you have and what version is installed on your Autel tool. We've went over the sensor, we've went over the tool, and now it's time for the verdict. I have to give this a KO. Now this is coming from someone who sells more lines of TPMS sensors and TPMS scan tools than just Autel through our Napa line. But the ease of these running parallel with each other, the fact that this tool will read, reprogram, and relearn OE sensors as well as your MX1 sensor, that's awesome. It eliminates the need of another tool and hitting various universal sensors that may or may need a ATEC or a BTEC, a BARTEC scan tool to do their programming. I like the idea of having one tool to do it all and one sensor that covers it all. So for me, this is an easy KO. Now, you've stuck around toward the end of the video, and here's how I can tell you how to get one for free. Visit your local Napa store, and depending on when you're watching this video, this promotion may or may not have expired. I can tell you today is in July, and we are running this promotion at least through the end of this year, 2020. So you'll need to check with your Napa to verify. But if you purchase 20 of the one sensor, and that's the Napa part number, the number 1 sensor, from your Napa store, they will provide you a free TS508. If you purchase 30 of the one sensors from your local Napa store, they will provide you the TS508WF. The difference in these two scan tools is the 508 is a wired connection for doing your updates. The 508WF will connect to your shop's Wi-Fi, and you can download updates from the shop wirelessly. Each of these scan tools with the purchase of those TPMS sensors will be yours for free through the end of this year. Also, as an added bonus, getting this through your local Napa store, you will have free lifetime updates on your scan tool. And if they have any questions, you can contact me here and I'll help you out. One last thing that they do have. If you're willing and needing a full-fledged scan tool that does TPMS and onboard diagnostics, your OBD2, you can purchase 125 of the one sensors up front, and you can get the Autel TS608 scan tool. That way you can diagnose your check engine lights, your ABS, your TPMS, all in one shot. This is a great way for maybe a new mechanic coming in to get a scan tool that sort of covers it all and not blow a lot of money. If you already have a TPMS tool and a shop, this is a great way to buy in to sell out your old inventory and then give the tool to your shop rider, your service rider, your shop foreman, and check every vehicle that comes in. It's like testing batteries. You will get sales if you check TPMS. This is Scott Killian, once again thanking you for checking out the KO Report. I'm glad you're here. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe out there.